From a small nonprofit with a bold promise to a company steering the global AI boom, this is 10 years of OpenAI. OpenAI began in December 2015 with a simple, radical mission: ensure artificial intelligence benefits all of humanity. A group of founders, Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Ilya Sutskever, Greg Brockman, John Schulman, Wojciech Zaremba, and others, pledged to pursue cutting-edge research while sharing knowledge widely. The spirit was open by design: publish, collaborate, and accelerate progress, so powerful AI wouldn't be controlled by just a few. The early years were about tools and proof of concepts. OpenAI released Gym to standardize reinforcement learning experiments, and Universe to expand what agents could learn from. Researchers began to show that with enough data, compute, and clever training loops, machines could master surprisingly complex tasks. The world took notice when OpenAI's agents started outperforming humans in games once thought out of reach for AI. In 2018, Elon Musk stepped off the board, citing a potential conflict with Tesla's own AI ambitions. He remained a donor, but his departure marked a shift. OpenAI's direction would now be set by Altman, Brockman, Sutskever, and the remaining leadership. Then came the scale problem. State-of-the-art AI demanded vast compute and talent, both expensive. In 2019, OpenAI created a new structure: OpenAI LP, a capped profit entity designed to raise capital without abandoning the original mission. Around the same time, a deep learning language model called GPT-4o sparked debate. The lab staged its release over concerns about misuse. OpenAI was no longer just pushing the frontier. It was wrestling with how to deploy it responsibly. The inflection point arrived in 2020 with GPT-3. Suddenly, language models didn't just autocomplete. They reasoned, summarized, translated, and wrote with startling fluency. OpenAI exposed the model through an API, and a wave of startups built on top. In 2021, Clip connected text and images. Codex brought AI into the code editor, and GitHub Copilot showed what it looks like when an AI pair programmer sits beside millions of developers. The future wasn't abstract anymore, it was shipping. In 2022, the pace accelerated again. DALL 2 turned text prompts into vivid images and illustrations. Whisper delivered robust speech-to-text, and on November 30th, ChatGPT launched, an approachable chat interface that put these capabilities in everyone's hands. Overnight, classrooms, newsrooms, studios, and offices began testing what a conversational AI assistant could do. By early 2023, GPT-4 arrived, pushing capability and safety forward and expanding from pure text toward multimodality. ChatGPT learned to use tools and plugins. Developers gained new building blocks to wire models into real workflows. OpenAI held its first Dev Day, previewing faster, cheaper variants and customizable GPTs. The company that started as a lab was now a platform. Then came the 5 days that nearly broke it. In November 2023, OpenAI's board abruptly removed CEO Sam Altman, citing a breakdown in trust. The shockwaves were instant. Hundreds of employees signed a letter threatening to leave. Microsoft, OpenAI's largest partner, publicly offered jobs to the entire team. For nearly a week, the industry watched a governance experiment meet the realities of power and momentum. Altman returned as CEO, the board was reshaped, and OpenAI emerged, rattled but intact. The message was unmistakable: the future of AI wouldn't be decided quietly. In 2024, the boundary of generative expanded again. OpenAI previewed Sora, a model that can generate realistic video from text prompts, another leap in multimodal understanding and synthesis. The company also showcased real-time voice and vision capabilities that made speaking with an AI feel less like querying software and more like a human conversation. With each step, the promise and the pressure grew.
If these systems can listen, see, talk, and create, how should they be governed?
Also in 2024, OpenAI introduced GPT-4o, Omni, a flagship model that natively handles text, vision, and audio in real time, making live interruptible conversations with ChatGPT feel natural and fluid. OpenAI also published a system card detailing safety evaluations for its new multimodal behavior.
By 2025, OpenAI's story was no longer just research and apps, it was infrastructure, partnerships, and policy. The lab that began with an open science ethos now operated at global scale, with cloud alliances, government pilots, and philanthropic efforts alongside ongoing debates about safety, transparency, and competition. Lawsuits and licensing deals tested how models should be trained. Researchers and critics pressed for stronger evaluations, red teaming, and disclosure. Supporters pointed to the productivity gains, accessibility advances, and creative explosions unlocked by everyday people using AI.
In 2025, the model lineup leveled up. O3 Mini extended the reasoning series with low-latency STEM strength. GPT-4.1 arrived in the API with longer context and stronger coding and instruction following. GPT-4o Mini replaced 4o Mini for fast everyday tasks. And in August, OpenAI introduced GPT-5, a unified system designed to answer quickly on simple prompts and think longer for complex work, alongside real-time API upgrades that pushed production-grade voice agents into the mainstream.
Through all the twists, a through line remains: OpenAI's mission to ensure that artificial general intelligence benefits all of humanity keeps colliding with the realities of building it: money, compute, speed, safety, and the hard question of who gets to decide. The organization has changed structure, strategy, and leaders, but the stakes have only grown. Its breakthroughs, GPT-3, DALL, ChatGPT-4, real-time voice, and text-to-video, altered how the world writes, codes, learns, designs, and thinks about thinking. 10 years on, the story is still being written. Will the next wave be agents that reliably plan and act? New chips and data centers that make AI cheaper and more capable? Stronger guardrails that make it safer and fairer? Or all of the above? From nonprofit beginnings to boardroom battles, from research papers to tools used by millions, OpenAI compressed a technological revolution into a decade. The question now isn't whether AI will shape our lives, but how and by whose values.
The next chapter in AI development is coming fast. What is it going to say? Thank you for watching. This is Business Codex. See you soon.